Welcome in. It's the Arrowhead Addict Chiefs halftime show. Hopefully, the precursor to a victory party. Things are looking pretty good. Patrick Allen here with you, Matt Verderame, Sterling Holmes. Fellas, not a perfect first half from the Chiefs, but I don't know if you could ask for a whole lot more from them. Some injury concerns. Let's get into it. Initial reactions, just right off the top. Let's start with you, Verderame.
They're playing great. My only concern right now is the injuries. I'm not too worried about Butker after that kick. I think he'll be all right. Smith with an ankle. I mean, he's questionable. It's not like he had to be carted off the field or something. So I'm not all that concerned. I am worried about Mahomes' wrist. Now, granted, it's his non-throwing wrist. I wouldn't be shocked if he comes out with a brace or even like a small cast on it. So I'm not like overly concerned, but he's Mahomes. Anytime anything's wrong with him, like you have a little bit of concern. But I feel, listen, they're up 23-7. Mahomes, whatever the hell is going on with his wrist, has not stopped him from going 21 of 28 for 223 and 3 touchdowns. Edwards-Helaire looked like Walter Payton in the first half of the game. He has 2 scores. And then, listen, everybody, by the way, killing Juju on here. Guys, he has 6 catches for 79 yards. Like, I know he fumbled. That sucks. Like, he's got to protect the ball. He'd be the first one to tell you. But they're doing just fine. By the way, we have Matt Verderame and Patrick Allen fan page in here. Hilarious.
I finally got a fan page. Praise the Lord.
That is awesome. But no, I think you got to be really happy. Defensively, they've gotten pressure a ton in this game. I know only Snead is the sack, but Jones has been all over the place. Karlaftis has looked very good. Dan has played well. I thought a turning point in that game might be at 20-7 when Juju turned the ball over. I was thinking in my head, like, the Cardinals get the ball first out of the third quarter. This could be a spot where if they score, then they could take the lead. They get nothing. Great stand by the defense. And then the Chiefs, they go down, they get the field goal. And now, look, not over, but at 23-7 at halftime, you feel as though if the offense can continue to play well, it's going to be a very, very tough road to hoe for Arizona.
Sterling?
I was going to say positive on Mahomes' wrist. Early on when it happened, he was handing the ball off with his right hand. We saw at least a left-handed flick. That's at least a positive progression there. Trey Smith, a little bit worried about. Harrison Butker showed some stones on that kick. If you saw how fired he was after he made it, he couldn't walk into that kick. That was one step from 54 yards, and it was drained. Mr. Sunk Cost himself is going off. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Juju Smith-Schuster, the one thing I will say, he looks to be the guy we all thought he was on third down, that intermediate route type of guy. But that was his second fumble. First one was out of bounds, and he was pissed at himself after the first one. I get it. It was a great play on that second fumble. But at some point, if you had one already and got lucky, you gotta tighten that up. That's a pretty big issue.
Yeah, look, it's week 1. A lot of sloppy football. Juju didn't have a catch, I don't think, in the preseason. So working his way back in. But yeah, got to hold on to the football. Very key. And especially this game, Chiefs are looking good right now. But there were a couple times there where it could have been a 1-score game. The Chiefs were missing that point from the Reed missed field goal, which, by the way, Justin Reed. I mean, I know he missed the extra point, but that
hell of a job by him. Hit one of them? Yeah. I'll take that.
Yeah.
It was bombed, dude. He got into that one.
And his kickoffs were through the back of the end zone. I mean, he's no joke. As far as emergency kickers go, and we've seen emergency kicker situations around the league, not always this pretty. So we'll take it. Let's start with the offense. We got a few minutes here. Is it pretty much what you expected, Verderame, to see? What we expected from the preseason? Ball getting distributed, long drives?
Other than Edwards-Helaire being so involved, especially the first couple drives, yeah. I mean, it is. Look, you've seen them distribute the ball, right? I mean, Kelsey has 6 catches. Juju has 6 catches. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has 3. Scantling has 2. Hardman has 2. McKinnon has 2. Like, we have not seen a target for Watson. I have barely even seen Sky Moore on the field except for returns. Pacheco's done nothing. He has 2 carries for 2 yards. But again, this is why I think sometimes we look into the preseason and it becomes way too much about, this guy did this. Like, these are the guys you're going to rely on. That doesn't mean Pacheco can't become a really good player. It doesn't mean Sky Moore's not going to be a good player. But, like, they're not relying on those guys. This is going to be about Smith-Schuster and Kelsey and Edwards-Helaire and Hardman. And, you knew when Jones was inactive for this game, Ronald Jones, you knew you'd see a lot of CH. He's run the ball very well, 6 carries, 38 yards. He's got 3 catches for 32 yards and 2 touchdowns, including on 4th down. But frankly, what I'm more impressed by, so Marquise Brown has 2 catches for 35 yards. AJ Green has 0 catches for 0 yards on 1 target. Andy Isabella, the same thing. Greg Dortch is somewhat killing them. Like, maybe put the clamps on him. But yeah, offensively, yeah. I mean, it's been a lot of Mahomes just spreading the ball around, kind of looking like a point guard, and it's worked out beautifully.
I kind of was saying CH was going to be the bell cow for the Chiefs this year. I didn't necessarily buy all into Pacheco hype. Not saying he's not good, but this is what I thought more so was going to happen.
Yeah.
The distribution has been fantastic. The offensive line has been building holes that a semi could get through. Clyde's doing a fantastic job hitting those holes. Just with Mahomes in general, he looks fucking incredible. He looks pissed off. Looks like he took that heart to loss in the playoff and says, I'm coming back. I'm proving a point. After Josh Allen went off in that first game, completed his first 11 passes, Mahomes goes, I'll do you one better and complete my first 12. Like, Mahomes is out here. I don't know if he's hearing the chatter, but he's trying to prove people wrong. I also want to put up on defense. Nick Bolton had a very good pass coverage set where if you think about last year, the knock against him was his pass coverage. He did a fantastic job against James Conner. And I want to just point out that improvement from Bolton.
Yeah, Chiefs defense playing a pretty solid game so far. Remember, they got a lot of new faces, a lot of young guys on defense. So this Cardinals, now they got some guys out, but this Cardinals offense is no joke. They can score. They're not the Pittsburgh Steelers out there with Mitch Trubisky. Boy, did you guys catch that game, by the way, earlier?
Second about this game?
Yeah, sure.
Also, thank you for our new member, Jess Farris. Really appreciate you. Welcome in.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. That game, and I'm sorry if any kids are watching, just prepare yourselves. That game was the worst fucking game I've ever watched in entirety in my life. It's one of the few times in my life I get genuinely was like, both of these fucking teams deserve to lose. This is abominable. Cincinnati, the long snapper was a backup and was just a train wreck. Just couldn't snap the ball to the holder. Have they never practiced that? Was it the first time they ever put that kid on the listen, son, you got to snap her back there. And I have no idea how to do this. I mean, what a tire fight. That was unbelievable. Meanwhile, Cincinnati is -5 in turnovers. And not like it happened with 4 of them in the fourth quarter. For most of the game was at least Cincinnati was -3. And Pittsburgh had 20 fucking points for 69 minutes. How do you have 69 minutes and you get 5 turnovers? And by the way, the reason I'm even more pissed about that whole tire fire is I'm stuck watching that game because I can't see the so I couldn't even see the Chiefs' first 2 drives of the game. I'm following on Twitter as Mitch Trubisky's out there throwing for, hold on a minute, 5.1 yards an attempt. Do you know how awful the Bengals have to feel? You had an extra point blocked to not win the game at the end of regulation. And then you back it up with missing a 29-yard field goal by a country mile, and then you somehow lose to Trubisky. If they ever miss the playoffs for one game, that's it. But in any event,
the fury that Verderame has, because this is all because you missed the Chiefs' first drive of the season.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you.
This bullshit.
Screw those guys.
God, it was unbelievable how bad that game was. So, and then the Colts and Texans did them one better and had a tie. So
yeah, that Steelers Bengals deserved to end in a tie. So okay, one thing that stood out to me in this first half was that Kyler Murray's only got 88 yards passing. He's only averaging 5, but he had a few big ones. But all in all, the Chiefs are doing a pretty good job. They're getting pressure. I think that's the key right now. There's probably going to be some big shots on this younger secondary, but they're getting pressure, and that seems to be really helping them. And let's talk about Mahomes. 3 touchdowns, 223 yards in the first half. What does he finish the game at? Sterling Holmes. What's his yardage total and touchdown total when this thing is over?
Ooh, let's go 330. They're going to have to shut him down once the Chiefs get up too much because the Chiefs defense right now has been suffocating, at least coming up with timely stops. Let's say 4 touchdowns, 334 touchdowns. Let's go with that.
Oh, we got 5 or 6. I want 5 or 6 in this one.
You're going scorched earth. You're saying no foot off the pedal, just clobber them.
Yeah, well, the Cardinals will get the ball after the half. Maybe they make some adjustments. They could go down there and get themselves a touchdown, and then the Chiefs got to keep pouring it on, not messing around. Give me 5, give me 6 touchdowns for Mahomes. Verderame, what do you think about Mahomes in that first half?
It was great. It was great, especially for the fact he might have an injured wrist or whatever the hell's going on. But look, I think he probably ends around like 360, 370, 4 or 5 touchdowns. I mean, look, let's put it this way. The Cardinals have stopped them one time. Okay. And even then it was like barely hanging on to stop them for dear life. Like the problem the Cardinals are going to have in this game as the game goes on, the Chiefs only have one sack. They're getting pressure. They're getting to Murray. Like Murray's now look, he's very elusive. So it's been hard to sack him. But they've gotten pressure, which, by the way, also resulted in Chris Jones batting the ball down right on third down. He got right up in his face. Easy swat for him. That, as this game goes on, is going to get tougher and tougher for Arizona. Like, you can't hide now. You got to just throw it. The Chiefs have blitzed. They're not afraid to do it. My concern right now, if anything, is the Chiefs' coverage at times has been good. Other times it's been really shaky. Like, you've got to be able to cover. I thought they were much better the last couple drives there. They really held up after the turnover. But I think on the flip side, the Cardinals, they've hit Mahomes a few times, but there have been a lot of times where he's been in rhythm for 10, 12 attempts where there's just nobody near him, ball's out of his hand. I feel really good about it. I feel like if the Chiefs don't turn the ball over in the second half and they just execute, they make the tackles they should make, I think they win going away.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? Don't make any mistakes. Don't turn the ball over. Don't help the Cardinals out. Chiefs defense with 3 hits. 2 of those, 3 hits on Kyler Murray, 2 of those coming from L'Jarius Sneed, 1 from George Karlaftis. Very excited for the second half of this one. Sterling, what's your key to victory here for the Chiefs?
Defense got to just keep doing what they're doing. Thornhill looked very enjoyable. He looked like he was shot out of a cannon on that one play, the almost interception. I want to continuously see this secondary grow. That was my main concern. All of the youth, all of the inexperience. I said it's going to take multiple games, potentially even half a season for them all to gel. But if they're doing this week 1 against a good, not elite, but a good quarterback in Kyler Murray, this is a good test for George Karlaftis and the defense aligned with a mobile quarterback. And so far, they've been up to the task.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, on L'Jarius Sneed, leading the team in tackles right now with 6. He's all over the field.
Should be noted, not about today, but it's for Thursday. Keenan Allen has been downgraded to out in Los Angeles. He has a hamstring injury. So that could be a problem for them come Thursday night. Something to watch. Obviously, the Chiefs will have a few guys you would think to watch as well. Although I would imagine with Butker kicking today that he's probably going to be all right to kick in that game. Maybe not for kickoffs. Maybe they'll literally let Justin Reed do it. That seems like a very plausible thing. But yes, Keenan Allen ruled out for the second half of that game. The Chargers, last I saw, were up 17-3. I don't know if that's changed. And it's 17-10. 17-10 the third quarter. So, by the way, Adams in that game, debut for the Raiders, 7 catches, 116 yards.
Yeah. Derek Carr is very happy, I'm sure. Listen, I think for the Chiefs in this one, at 23-7, Cardinals get the ball out of the half. If Kansas City can get that stop and go down and score, you make a really good point, Verderame, about that Thursday game. Don't let this one linger into the fourth quarter if you can help it. The guys are banged up. First game of the season. Go out there and get a couple touchdowns in the third quarter.
We're coming back now for the game. So listen, we're gonna let you guys go. We're ready to go. We'll see you after the game. Hopefully, it is to celebrate a Chiefs win. They lead by 16 points going into the third quarter, 23-7. Hopefully, a lot of good things to talk about here. My key to the game: don't take penalties. Don't turn it over. They do that, they'll be fine.
See you after the game.